You can declare ahead of time that my action is going to be used for a movement, and then you can combine those two together for a total of 12 inches of movement.
Right.
You have to declare that, though, because otherwise your movement wouldn't be enough to get you up to the top, so you'd stop at the bottom. And then your action wouldn't be enough to get you to the top, so that you'd stop at the bottom.
So essentially my commander's going to stay down there.
He has to, yeah.
Okay. All right, then that's what I'll do.
Okay.
So these command points, when do they come into play?
They're used to do re-rolls on your own dice, as well as modifying your own dice. So anytime...
My own dice?
Yeah. Like
my own units? Do they have to be within range?
Yes, they have to be within command range to use his command points.
Which is 9?
9, yeah. Your squads have 1 command point each to be used. It can also be used during my turn for leadership rolls. Like if I shoot you, you have to take a leadership roll.
Okay.
And you're going to be taking lots of leadership rolls.
Measuring. I can measure as much as I want.
Right now, because we're in alpha, it's free measuring.
Okay.
We might switch that for the main game to make it a little more competitive. But right now, it's free measuring.
Okay. So this unit, now does it have to be the leader of this unit in range, or just simply any model from the unit?
Any model.
Okay.
Although I should check the rules for that. So I think I actually made a ruling for that. It's a good question.
It would make sense if it's leader to leader.
Yeah, but at the same time, we don't want to be too anal with those kind of things, right?
It would be really difficult.
All right, why do I have it on a clipboard? That just makes it harder to flip it. Okay, command is after combat. Here we are. Okay. If the model has a commander special rule, then any other friendly models can use its command points anytime for any purpose as long as they're within command range. A squad can use the command points from a commander if any member of the squad is in the command range of a commander. It's funny how I'm actually looking at my own rules.
I know, don't you love it? Like, there's so many now.
I don't remember them all. Okay, yeah, so any squad member makes it within.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, so commander has to stay there. I'm going to activate the other guys, or the one first.
One at a time,
It's going to be one first. And they can't shoot. They're going to forego that and do
2 movements.
2 movements.
So you have 12 inches in total. So 6 inches to move up, and then you move on.
Okay. Actually, interesting. So if I go like this, since I can't shoot anyway, it's probably better that I stay back so you can't see me.
But the sniper has a move or shoot weapon.
Move or shoot weapon.
Yeah, so for the sniper to be able to shoot, you have to forfeit your movement.
Okay, so then
So
I
you
should
do want to
move
get your
up.
sniper into position.
I should move up.
Now, just for everybody watching, the heavy flamer guy, it used to be a move or shoot weapon. I've removed that. It is no longer a move or shoot weapon. So you can shoot it after you've moved.
Okay.
Because I was finding that I wasn't able to use it.
So now that's better if you can't see him.
Yeah, because he can move up and fire. Right now, there's no bonus for standing still and shooting. I'll probably add in an aiming bonus like War Machine has.
Do you have terrain bonus difference there?
Yeah, this is basically this is going to give you a level 3 cover.
the whole thing, right?
Yeah, the sniper has a dug-in special rule. He gets an extra cover bonus. So he's actually a level 4 cover. It's a good thing, because if he gets hit, he's dead. He's very low armor.
Okay. All right, so that's done.
Okay, so they got your 2 squads.
These guys. You're... See a couple you can still move. And just make it so. Now, what's the range of your big blast template again?
Well, every range is infinite, but my range is 10. So for every...
I guess your ideal range is what it's called.
It's like 20 inches. Your ideal range is usually double your range.
Okay.
It's only a -1 modifier.
I'm going to activate these guys, and their movement is...
6. Everything on your side is 6 except your heavy weapon guy.
What is he?
5.
Okay.
This represents the lugging around the heavy weapon.
Move these guys up, might as well. Okay, so that's our movement. Now the other thing I can choose to shoot, right?
Yeah.
If I can see anything, I can see
I
anything.
don't think you can see anything there.
So, now is there something else they can do? Can they go on a type of Overwatch? Or
They can do Overwatch. They can do suppression fire. Suppression fire won't be useful here, probably. But the way suppression fire works is you place an AoE, and yeah, the size of the AoE depends on how many are participating in the suppression.
Yep.
And you place it anywhere within double their range, but it has to be completely within that. So
12
within
inches? Within
16 inches, because it's 8.
Range of the weapon, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So within 16 inches, completely within, meaning like the whole template has to be within 16, and they all have to be able to see the center of the template.
Okay.
And you place that down, And any of my models that move into it or end their turn in it or end their movement in it to automatically take D3 hits from your weapons. You don't have to roll to hit.
But if it's a little before, then it doesn't affect them.
Yeah, if they stop before it, then it doesn't. Also, if your squad gets hit at all, the suppression ends. So I can activate one guy, shoot your squad, and drop their suppression. So it's important that you kind of get into a good cover position. That'll be hard for you to get hit. I gotta plug this in.
So it actually, from the looks of this, it looks like it would be more beneficial if there was another squad kind of doing the same thing in another area.
Yeah, they can overlap. The AoEs can overlap.
Okay.
So you basically do it for like denial of an area. For example, if you know I'm going to be running up here, you throw a suppression fire right here. Because if I come around the corner, then I get hit by it. So it forces me to change my tactics. It's all about trying to position your opponent in such a way.
All right, well, I'm going to do that then.
So let's quickly check. I remember I changed the rules on this, but I don't remember exactly how.
So you said within 16, so I can move that up a bit, making sure that they can all see the center.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, where is it? Here we are. Suppressing fire. AoE. How many guys do you have participating? 5?
5.
So it'll be a 4-inch AoE. So we'll just use the 4 inches in that. And then, yeah, it'll be D3 automatic hits at the strength of your weapons to anybody who enters or ends their movement in there. So you can actually put it on top of a bunch of guys who are in cover. And if they stay there during their movement, they automatically get hit. So it ignores their cover, basically. Or it forces somebody else to activate first to try to hit your suppressing squad, so they drop their suppressing fire. So it forces your opponent to do something different than what they would normally choose to. So there's got to be benefits to that.
Very nice.
And it costs a command point to do. So you got to use your command point. Okay, so that's where it is. So you're suppressing fire right there.
Yeah. Okay, now these guys. Cover probably plays a really large part.
Yeah.
Like a ridiculously large, right? Especially
large enough.
My guys. I guess,
Think of it this way: your margin of success of your rolls matters. It determines how many hits you get.
My range isn't. It is a.
Firing at this distance will be hard. Let me just put it that way.
So what is the roll to hit you? Or
Well, you basically have your ranged skill roll. So yours is 11 for your troops. For troops, they get to add how many squad members are participating. So if you have 5 guys, that brings it up to 16.
okay.
And then you subtract the defense and the cover bonuses and the ranged bonus or the range modifiers. So like if it's a -2 range modifier, -2 for the cover, and then if I have a defense of 4.
And your defense, okay.
Yeah. So you subtract those 3 things.
Okay.
So people are like, that's too many subtractions. But you actually do that in other games too. They just do it differently. Like with War Machine, you just add to the person's defense rather than subtracting from your firing.
So this would be.
It'd be hard to hit.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have a level 2 cover.
Well, then what I'm going to do is I'm going. Now, can I do this? Can I move up and use a command point to move again?
You don't have to use a command point. You just use your action to move again.
Everything has a move and an action then.
Yeah.
Okay.
You use a command point to do special actions or to modify your rolls.
Modify
You don't
rolls.
get extra actions because of command points.
Okay, so I'm going to move out of here. I can
So
only
remember,
move
it'll cost
5.
you an inch to go through the window.
Okay, so I can only move 5 then. So he's there. Then he would be a little bit further. And then he would be just right there. He would be there.
Oh, and my assassin can go through terrain. And he ignores difficult terrain.
Oh yeah, your assassin.
Like he could literally run through this hill.
That's
As long
awesome.
as he can come out the other side. As long as he doesn't stop within inside of impassable terrain.
Because then he's like stuck in the mountain.
Yeah, he basically phases through it.
That would never happen though, because you know the distance you're going to be moving.
Yeah, you better. Okay.
Okay,
So
now
what are they going to do? They have an action.
They're going to move again.
Okay.
Now, if one guy is there, but the rest aren't, are they still affected by that movement?
Well, he is.
Only he is.
Yeah, it's model per model.
As
for
long
the
as he
difficult
stays
terrain.
within coherency, it's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. You have to keep your guys in coherency. There's some cases where you'll be forced out of coherency, like if people fall or things happen. But in that case, you just have to get them back into coherency. It won't happen very often that happens. But.
He moves 5, so he's.
And remember, you have to be within 6 inches of the commander, so you have a pretty wide
That's actually, yeah, I like that distance. Now the command point, I'll just maybe save that for later. In
Yeah,
case they
definitely,
shot it.
definitely. Or
Yeah,
I guess you could put suppressing fire down there, but you have to think about where my guys are going to go. Are they going to try to go out there, or are they probably going to come up here to this cover? So that's what you have to think about.
I'm done then.
Yeah, so it's my turn.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so it's my turn.
It's Lanthos, turn 1.
All right.
It's fun to
So-
say. It's fun to say.
Santos turn 1. Yeah. Let's do my stealth guy first. So he's just going to combine his movement and action. So he's got an 8-inch movement. So he moves 16 inches when he runs.
Brah! That's awesome.
Yeah, he's fast. Ooh, that'll be tough though. That'll put him out in the open.
So you can pre-measure anything right now.
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Put him up to here. And this one we'll bring up to here. And,
That's freaky!
and this one will run up to here.
Oh no! I don't know which one he is.
Exactly. That's the idea. Yeah, no, it's fun. Stealth is fun. The corporation will have stealth guys too, but it'll be more like camouflage guys. So they'll have like a level 2 stealth. So they'll only get 2 markers and they have to stay within 6 inches of each other.
Yeah.
So it won't be quite as crazy. It might even be cool like to have a stealth sniper. So he's got camouflage, and so he gets the 2 stealth tokens until he gets into place, and then he can be like, here I am.
That's
That'll
awesome.
be fun. Okay, these guys are going to activate next. Actually, no. I need a gravity mine underneath them so they can get up this side easier, because I want them to be able to get in position. So, dude here, Commander's going to activate next. He's going to... He's definitely going to put an anti-gravity mine down.
Anti-gravity mine.
Yeah. So he's going to put it right here.
You know, people are going to acronymize that.
The AGM.
AGM.
So there we are. That was his movement. So for his action, he will move, and he's just going to shuffle over a bit. Stay out of line of sight. Okay, now these guys will activate. So it only costs 2 inches to go up. So 2.
Hold on. Is that the squad leader
This is the commander.
of your army?
Yeah.
Oh, you just put him with the squad? Is he part of the squad or is
No,
he separate from the
He's
squad?
separate. He's just beside them.
Okay.
So that's basically he can move 4 inches onto here. This guy has to move 2 inches. That's 2 of his inches, and then 2 more of his inches, and then 2 inches. This guy has to do the same deal, so we'll get right here. Okay, so it helps him just hop up.
And he stays behind because he had to forfeit one.
He forfeited his movement, and then his action he just shuffled over a little bit. He used his action to move. Okay, so these guys are going to open fire on nothing. Because they have no line of sight, because they weren't able to get to that.
Awesome. My guys are hidden.
Well, the one guy can see your one squad, but he's not going to do very well. So they're going to do suppressing fire. These guys over here. Yeah, because they can see right here.
They can see right there. Okay.
So we're going to have to do a 4-inch suppressing fire. I'm not going to walk into this, so I'm just going to take this.
Okay.
Just so you know. And everything, it can be within 20 inches. So they can put suppressing fire anywhere within this, but they have to all be able to see the center. So the guy in the back is going to kind of limit that. So I'm going to put suppressing fire right here. Okay? It's the 4-inch. It's the 4-inch template. So it's not touching you because they have to be able to see the center.
Okay.
Okay, so there's suppressing fire from these guys. That costs the command point. I'm going to take it from the commander.
Forced me to move over this stuff.
Yep. That's the idea, right?
Oh, awesome.
What?
Oh, I just got an idea for my next turn.
Good. Okay, so they're done. And then all we have left is this squad, who can see your sniper, so they're going to take a pot shot. Pot shot. So you measure, okay, when you shoot, you measure from the furthest one away, okay, to the closest guy.
Okay.
Because you take the worst range penalty, basically.
All right.
So he's just outside of 20 inches, so that puts them into the worst range band.
Okay.
Because remember, they're 10 inches. So it'll be a -2. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because he's outside of the 10, it's -1. He's outside of the 20, it's -2.
Okay.
If you played Firestorm Armada, I'm not just talking to Dave here, I'm talking to anybody that's watching this. You're familiar with range bands. This works similarly, except the range bands are different. In Firestorm Armada, the range bands I think are all 8 inches. So basically, everything within 8 inches is one difficulty, or there's different amount of dice that you roll. So So it's the same idea. Kind of got the inspiration from that. Inspiration from lots of places. So these guys will open fire on the sniper. So here's what they're going to have to roll. So they have a 12 range attack. We add their squad bonus, which is 4, so that brings us up to 16.
Mm-hmm.
We subtract the range modifier,
Which is 2.
So we're down to 14.
And
And then we subtract the cover, which is 4, because he's a sniper, so he gets 3 plus 1. So that brings us down to 10.
Yep.
And then we subtract his defense, which is nice and high at 6. That brings us down to 4. So you have to roll 4 or less. But it's not just important that they roll 4 or less, it's important that they roll below 4, because for every one that you beat it by, so your margin of success, is how many hits you get. So in this case, it's going to be hard to hit him, never mind hit him a lot.
So if you get double ones, you get 3. Okay.
3 hits. And if you roll exactly, you only get 1 hit, and you get -1 strength. So it represents kind of like you barely hit.
Like a graze.
Yeah. Now I can use my command point that I have right here to re-roll or modify the roll by 1. So
Meaning only a 5? Is that what I mean?
if I get a 5, I can use a command point to hit you once with a reduced strength. It won't kill you though, because your solos all have 3 wounds each.
Huh,
And so
okay.
it'll be hard for me to kill your sniper, but I could force a leadership roll. Anytime a squad or a solo is hit, even if they don't get wounded, after the wounding is resolved, whether they got wounded or not, they have to take a leadership roll. And if they fail it, they're falling back.
Huh.
They're fleeing. So just forcing that leadership roll. Now you're fine because you have a nice high leadership. You got your commander nearby with his 5 command points. So you're not going to fail your leadership because you have so many command points that allow you to modify it or re-roll it all you want.
Right.
But I could force you to use up some of your command points.
Yeah, that's true too.
So it's also about that. It's not really about killing. It's about depleting the resources.
Now these solos here, they replenish their command points every turn?
Everybody who has command points replenishes them, except for a squad who's down to 1 guy. And also people who are fleeing. If you flee, you lose all your command points and you don't regenerate them until you stop fleeing.
Okay.
So here we go, 4 or less. So I got a 5, so I'm actually going to use the command point to modify it to a 4. So that's a single hit. So this will be at -1 strength, so strength 5 instead of 6, against your armor of 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4, so I have to roll 4 or less to inflict a wound. So I have a good chance of inflicting a wound here. So I inflicted a wound. So you lose 1 of your 3 wounds.
Well, it looks like it's easy to wound.
Well, your guy, yeah. The sniper has 1 armor.
What do my regular guys have?
Your regular guys have 2 armor, and your commander has 3.
Okay, so a little better.
And on top of that, my weapons are 1 strength higher than your weapons.
Yeah, it makes a difference on a d6, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's down to 2 wounds.
Unless... No, I have no choice,
There's
right?
no save. There's no save. Your armor's already taken into account.
Okay.
So now you're going to roll leadership on him.
So 2 dice?
Yeah, 2 dice. Now, if you're within 9 inches of your commander, which you are, you get to use their leadership instead, which is 9 instead of your 8 for your sniper.
Okay.
But you do get -1. For every wound inflicted, you get a -1 to your leadership.
So
So
it's
you have to
8.
roll 8 or less.
Okay.
So go for it. So 8, you get it.
Okay.
And your command point should be with your guys, just so we remember that they have them.
Yeah.
So now let's say that you had failed that by, let's say you rolled an 11. Well, you
Yeah.
could have used a command point from your commander or from yourself to re-roll it. Let's say you rolled a 9, you could use a command point to bring it to an 8. So it's pretty much impossible for you to fail that leadership test.
Yeah.
But I could have eaten through a bunch of command points if you got really lucky.
Yeah.
And hey, I wounded you.
Hey.
So that's pretty good.
Hey, Paul.
Paul's here.
Bob,
Oh, you brought in Bob.
Bob, the Grey Hunter.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Problem gracias.
I appreciate it.
And that's the end of my turn. So it's your turn now.
Oh, quick turns.
Small game right now, yeah. All right, so Corporation turn 2.
So how do I try to reveal your assassin again?
Okay, whenever a model activates, or a squad activates, if they can draw a line of sight to where that guy would be, then they can do a passive perception check before anything else happens.
And does that count as an action?
It's not an action.
It's just...
If they fail it, you can choose to have your action be an active perception check. That's one of your possible actions.
Okay.
So it's another skill roll, but except it's actually with a good modifier to it. So you have a better chance with the active one. But you at least get to try it just passively. So for example, the sniper, I don't think is going to be able to see any of them. That's going to be a pretty tough line of sight. Can you
If
see
you
this
drop
one?
from his eye, right?
Yeah.
Then you can't.
You can't see those. So he's not going to be able to reveal them. These guys obviously would be able to see this one.
Yep.
And so you'd be able to do a passive perception check against that one.
Which I will. I might as well, right?
Yeah, but you have to activate them. So the order here, once again, order of activation
Order-
matters.
I'm not going to activate them.
Okay.
What I will do, though, is activate my commander because I want to
Oh, and
drop-
your gravity mine is gone.
Okay.
That dissipates at the beginning of your turn.
So I want to. I guess I'm gonna have to throw this gravity mine, so it lands there. So these guys can move up here without any modifier.
Well, some of them will. Some of them will still need a
The
modifier.
ones that are.
Yeah,
not-
because you don't want to move into an anti-gravity minefield because it's difficult terrain. So you'll lose an inch moving into it. Now, mind you, if you're going to go up 2 inches, then you
So
lose
you want
an
to
inch.
start in it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you want him to drop the anti-gravity mine underneath them.
So you said that it's a difference if I drop or throw it, right?
Yeah. Now he can move first and then drop it. That way he can get up within 6 inches of where he wants to put it. So think of that.
I might leave my commander out in the open with your assassin there.
Yep.
I don't know if I want that.
Yep, definitely. Assassin is scary. He won't be able to kill your commander in 1 turn, though. He's only got 3 attacks.
Who's stronger in close combat?
The assassin. Basically, your corporation is better than my Xanthos in close combat, except for the assassin. The assassin is stronger in close combat.
Yeah.
So he's the
He's freaking me out.
he's the odd man out.
He's all over and I don't know where he is.
Okay,
Give me
what are you gonna do?
nightmares.
Who are you gonna activate first?
The commander.
Okay, and what are you gonna do?
I'll move. Okay.
Your move.
I'm going to move.